Yo, what's going on, champions? It's Marquise Money Mike Williams, founding member and executive senior director here at JMG Direct, and I would like to welcome you all to the Saturday morning freedom training. I got some good information, some nuggets all lined up for each and every one of you today, and I'm excited to have you connected and plugged in with us this morning. If you have not done so already, I'm over here tearing up stuff. If you have not done so already, what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to do two things for me. One, I want you to subscribe to the channel so that you're notified as we're going live. And it's an extra reminder for you. Should you miss your sponsor, your upline's text message or the reminder, just to make sure that you do not miss out on training, because we always talk about the difference between amateurs and professionals is training. All right, let me go ahead and put it back in PowerPoint mode, is training. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to send out a text message. Make sure that you have your team connected and on training this morning. If they're not on already, I want to make sure that they're plugged in and on training, because we got some good information for training this morning. We I'm gonna share some information with you that was shared with me, and if you grasp this, if you get a hold of this, I am telling you, not only will your JMG Direct business thrive and grow, but your entire life will be changed forever. All right. So we've been growing, you guys, we've been growing like weeds. We've been growing. It's truly the prosperity community, because people's lives are changing right now. And I want to welcome all the new champions who have joined, since we kicked things off and got things started this week. It is truly a blessing to be able to change other people's lives and help them be a part of what we're doing with JMG Direct. But the foundation, if you don't understand anything else, the foundation of what we do is expose. Well, let's get some synonyms of expose. Prospect, recruit, talk to people, share. All you're doing is exposing them to a better way. Sometimes we get caught up in the semantics of it, but when you're exposing them, you're understanding the bigger picture of what's going on in the world. People are looking for opportunity. That's not my opinion. That's not Mr. Jones's opinion. The data supports that. That's why JMG Direct was created, because we saw problems in the world, problems in society, and we are positioned to be a solution to those issues and those problems happening in the world and within society. So our simple launch strategy to give you a yellow brick road to always follow. If you follow this launch strategy, you will promote through the ranks of the company, your business will grow, and you will find yourself making some nice monies, right? Throw an S on the end of monies, right? So what is that? Success with JMG is simple as 1, 2, 3. You must make one decision that you want something more out of life, but more importantly, you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it. If you ever find yourself not having the results that you desire, if you ever find yourself not maximizing your potential, being where you should be, not getting results, go back, look in the mirror, and ask yourself, have you made the decision that you want something more out of life? But more importantly, you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it. Because if it's meant to be, it's up to me. The buck stops with you. So you got to always analyze and look at, okay, what can I adjust? What can I change? Because it's not the people around you. It's not the people in your network. It's not the team. It starts with you. And you as the foundation, as the leader, because we're all the leaders, right? It all starts with us. The culture is started with you. You learn the culture from your upline, and you continue to grow the culture and influence other people that you share the information with. Okay, so you always got to look in the mirror, and if anything needs to be adjusted, anything that needs to be changed, you start with you. All right. Then we want to gather 2 customers, preferably My Credit is Better customers, so that you're qualified to earn commission. I personally recommend that you purchase and use as many JMG Direct products as you personally can utilize and afford, so that you can get closer to your 10 customer requirement or 10 customer requirement to be fully qualified. And right now, for the next week, we still have this fall into the money promotion where you actually can earn an additional $100. Every single person that's listening to the sound of my voice, I should see Facebook, I should see Twitter or X or whatever. I should see all social media platforms going crazy this week with people posting about their JMG Direct business. All right. I should see it going crazy. I should see it going crazy. So if you want to get this, you got to let the people know. The business won't grow if the people don't know. Then you want to partner with 3 people. People who want to make some money. People who are like-minded. People who are go-getters. And we want to teach them to do the same thing. Make a decision and get qualified. All right. So if you have any questions during training, go ahead and ask the question. We'll be happy to answer them. If we don't catch it during training, I'll go follow up in the comments and we'll answer it afterwards. But today's training is called The Strangest Secret in the World. The strangest secret in the world. But before I dive into this training, because it's actually a video that I watched that I want to share with you that I really want you guys to stop what you're doing because the video is about to ruin. Now, let me stop. But I want you guys to pay close attention to this video. I mean, give it your undivided attention. It's not a long video. You should always give your undivided attention during training, but I want you to specifically give it to this because it will truly make a difference and change your life. But I want you to see that this is your opportunity to make a dream become a reality. And when you look back years from now, it's like the movie on Transformers when Bumblebee came, the first one, and he popped open the door, and Shia LaBeouf, he was like, should I go or shouldn't I go? And he was like, yo, I'm going. And the shorty was like, yo, you might be by yourself. And he turned around and he said, 10 years from now, aren't you going to wish that you got in the car? So come on, let's get in the car. Let's see where it's at. This is new. This is new territory, new opportunity. And this is for you. A lot of you probably never even fathomed of being able to make $15,000 per month, let alone $153,000 per month. It's not what they teach in school. It's not what they teach in society. But we have the opportunity and the ability to do that. And not only do it for ourselves, it's not a luck up type of thing, because a lot of times in life, opportunity is who you meet, who you network with, who you connect with, being in the right place at the right time. You were in the right place at the right time to get in JMG Direct, but now all you have to do is follow the directions, follow the system, and you can be successful. This is your time. So I want to tell you some hardcore techniques to get out there and connect with some people. But first, I want you to understand, it starts with a question to pique their interest, right? It starts with a question. I want you to understand, you got to clear your mind when you're exposing. You got to clear your mind when you're recruiting. You got to get laser beam focused, and you got to realize you're not recruiting for you. Yeah, you want people in your business, but you know, again, the data says 95% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck. You are the answer to somebody's prayers. You are the answer to them lowering their taxes. You are the answer to them eliminating debt, increasing their credit score, and creating wealth. We have something that 99.9% of the population needs, uses, and wants. And if you don't tell them, you need to understand this. I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care if it's your daddy, your brother, your sister, your preacher. I don't care who it is. If you don't tell them, then somebody else is going to come tell them. It may be JMG Direct, because we telling everybody. It may be another opportunity. But what I want you to understand is that people's window is either open or it's not. And they're waiting for somebody to share something with them. And if you plant that seed, then they're going to roll with you. If they don't roll with you, all no means is not now. The seed has been planted. So when the window opens, they're going to think about you and the fact that you told them. But you got to understand, you are helping them. They're not helping you. You're helping them. And you don't need them. So if they say no, that's cool. There's a bunch of other people who are out there. Most of you are on your phone. If you weren't, I would tell you, pull up your contacts right now and see how many contacts you have within your phone right now. But just think about it, because I already know you have a general idea of how many contacts you have in your phone. Think about how many contacts you have on your social media. Now think about how many of them you told about JMG Direct. There's always people out there that you can tell. There's always people out there that you can share it with, but it all starts with a question. So I use a 3-question method sometime, right? Let's pick somebody from the comment section. We got Brother Troy, Senior Director Troy Harris. I might come up to Brother Troy Harris. He might be giving me a fade because I need a nice chisel right now. Matter of fact, let me put my hat on because I look kind of bad, right? He might be cutting my hair. Hey, Brother Troy, you have a credit score? He'll say, yeah, who doesn't have a credit score, right? I was like, great. Do you know other people who have a credit score? These are common sense questions. Their head is going to turn into a bobblehead. They're going to say yes because I am setting them up to say yes, right? Yeah, I know other people who have a credit score. But wouldn't it make sense for you to get involved with a business and get paid simply because you and other people you know have a credit score? Or how would you like to get paid simply because you and other people you know have a credit score? Right? I could switch it up. Say, hey brother, hey coach, do you shop online? Yeah, I shop online. Do you know other people who shop online? Yeah, I know other people who shop online. How would you like to get paid? Or wouldn't it make sense to get paid because you and other people you know shop online? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Coach is a bobblehead right now. It just makes sense. Sometimes I get more specific. I say, do you know 3 other people who have a credit score, or 3 other people who shop online, right? The more people you ask, the more you expose. The more you expose, the more seeds you plant. The law of numbers says you talk to enough people, somebody will join. When you're conversing with people, what do you look for? What opens up the doors for conversations? If you're just talking to people who you're out and about, because there's more possibilities than just the people you know. You always start with the people you know. Why do you start with the people you know? Because I promise you, if I know you and I wasn't a executive senior director with James E. Direct, and I know I wanted some opportunity, and then you blew up and you didn't tell me, I'm looking at you funny style. I'm like, dude, why didn't you tell me? I was praying for something. I need to put the girls through school. They're going to need a car in another couple years. I've been looking, and you've been having it right here, hogging it all to yourself. You over in the corner with the opportunity like, mine, mine, mine. Don't do that. Share it with the world. Expose, especially the people that you know. They may say yes, they may say no, but you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And you either want to know, N-O, or you want to know, K-N-O-W. Mr. Jones always taught me that. You want to know? Cool. I can respect a no. But I planted the seed, and I'm going to move on to the next person. Or you want to know, K-N-O-W. You want to know where they stand at. You want to know if they're looking. You want to know if now is not the right time. Come back in another 2 months. But you just don't depend on the people that you know because there's so many other people that are out there. You see somebody with nice shoes, nicely dressed, somebody who makes eye contact with you. I'm looking directly in the camera. I'm looking at you. Somebody does that out and about. I'm talking to them. Hey, man, how you doing? Nice day out today. You got some nice shoes. I like your suit. I like your dress. Whatever the case may be. If it's a server at a restaurant, you have a really positive attitude. Do you keep your options open for other ways to make extra money? The more people you ask, the more people you expose. Some of my favorite things to say are, if the money were right and it fit into your schedule, do you keep your options open? I say that to people that I know all day, every day. I don't care if I got a fantasy league people invited me to from high school. I'm chipping them off one by one. Hey, man, that was a good game yesterday. Hey, let me ask you a question. If the money were right and it fit into your schedule, would you be open to taking a look at a way we can make some money together? If I'm out and about, one of my favorites is, hey, you seem like a quality person. Do you keep your options open for other ways to make extra money? Always have a positive attitude. Always be smiling. Always have a good personality. The more people you ask, the more people you expose. The more people you ask, the more people you expose. Those are the questions. Once you have somebody who's peaked, who says yes, then you got to give them the answer. What's their solution? Their solution is James E. Direct. But you got to give them the answer. How? The Simple Wealth Blueprint. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Replay The Simple Wealth Blueprint. Anytime, 24/7. One-on-one presentations. Keep showing the plan and you will get somebody in. It's just that simple. Just that simple. So I want to play this video before we get into the presentation. But I really want you guys to pay close attention to this video. Oh my God, it will change your life forever.
And have you ever noticed that a man who becomes successful tends to continue to become successful? And on the other hand, have you noticed how a man who's a failure tends to continue to fail? Well, it's because of goals. Some of us have goals, some don't. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's that simple. Think of a ship leaving a harbor, and think of it with the complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where it's going and how long it'll take. It has a definite goal. Now, 9,999 times out of 10,000, it will get to where it started out to get. Now, let's take another ship, just like the first, only let's not put a crew on it or a captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal, no destination. We just start the engines and let it go. I think you'll agree with me that if it gets out of the harbor at all, it will either sink or wind up on some deserted beach, a derelict. It can't go anyplace because it has no destination and no guidance, and it's the same with a human being. Now let's get back to the strangest secret in the world, the story that I wanted to tell you today. Why do men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail? Well, let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You will suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you want just seem to fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced before. Doubt, fear, well, they'll be things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this, everything comes if a man will only wait. I've brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this, a man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And he also said, we need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interests in it will be those which characterize belief. And he also said, if you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly. In the Bible, you read in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. My old friend Dr. Norman Vincent Peale put it this way, this is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact, he went on to say, which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed. William Shakespeare put it this way, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Well, it's pretty apparent, isn't it? And every person who discovered this for a while believed that he was the first one to work it out. We become what we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about, and we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration and fear and anxiety and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Now, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Well, I'll tell you how it works as far as we know. Now, to do this, I want to tell you about a situation that parallels the human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. Now, remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land because the mind, like the land, doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. Now, let's say that the farmer has two seeds in his hand. One is a seed of corn. The other is nightshade, a deadly poison. He digs two little holes in the earth, and he plants both seeds, one corn, the other nightshade. He covers up the holes, waters, and takes care of the land, and what will happen? Invariably, the land will return what's planted. As it's written in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now remember, the land doesn't care. It'll return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up come the two plants, one corn, one poison. Now, the human mind is far more fertile, far more incredible and mysterious than the land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant. Success, failure. A concrete, worthwhile goal, or confusion. Misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. But what we plant, it must return to us. You see, the human mind is the last great unexplored continent on Earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return anything we want to plant. Now, you might say, well, if that's true, why don't people use their minds more? Well, I think they figured out an answer to that one, too. Our mind comes as standard equipment at birth. It's free, and things that are given to us for nothing we place little value on. Things that we pay money for, we value. The paradox is that exactly the reverse is true. Everything that's really worthwhile in life came to us free. Our minds, our souls, our bodies, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, our love of family and children and friends and country, all these priceless possessions are free. But the things that cost us money are actually very cheap and can be replaced at any time. A good man can be completely wiped out and make another fortune. He can do that several times. Even if our home burns down, we can rebuild it. But the things we got for nothing, we can never replace. The human mind isn't used because we take it for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. It can do any kind of job we assign to it, but generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big, important ones. Universities have proved that most of us are operating on about 10% or less of our abilities. So decide now, what is it you want? Plant your goal in your mind. It's the most important decision you'll ever make in your entire life. What is it you want? Do you want to be an outstanding salesman? A better worker at your particular job? Do you want to go places in your company, in your community? Do you want to get rich? All you've got to do is plant that seed in your mind, care for it, work steadily toward your goal, and it will become a reality. It not only will, there's no way that it cannot. You see, that's a law, like the laws of Sir Isaac Newton, the laws of gravity. If you get on top of a building and jump off, you'll always go down. You'll never go up, and it's the same with all the other laws of nature. They always work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye as having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you've reached your goal. Ours has been called the phenobarbital age, the age of ulcers and nervous breakdowns and tranquilizers. At a time when medical research has raised us to a new plateau of good health and longevity, far too many of us worry ourselves into an early grave, trying to cope with things in our own little personal ways, without learning a few great laws that will take care of everything for us. These things we bring on ourselves through our habitual way of thinking. Every one of us is the sum total of his own thoughts. He is where he is because that's exactly where he really wants to be, whether he'll admit that or not. Each of us must live off the fruit of his thoughts in the future, because what you think today and tomorrow, next month and next year, will mold your life and determine your future. You're guided by your mind. I remember one time I was driving through eastern Arizona, and I saw one of those giant earth-moving machines roaring along the road at about 35 miles an hour with what looked like 30 tons of dirt in it. A tremendous, incredible machine. And there was a little man perched way up on top with the wheel in his hands guiding it. And as I drove along, I was struck by the similarity of that machine to the human mind. Just suppose you're sitting at the controls of such a vast source of energy. Are you going to sit back and fold your arms and let it run itself into a ditch? Or are you going to keep both hands firmly on the wheel and control and direct this power to a specific, worthwhile purpose? It's up to you. You're in the driver's seat. You see, the very law that gives us success is a two-edged sword. We must control our thinking. The same rule that can lead a man to a life of success, wealth, happiness, and all the things he ever dreamed of for himself and his family. That very same law can lead him into the gutter. It's all in how he uses it, for good or for bad. This is the strangest secret in the world.
You guys, I hope you understood that. I hope you grasped hold of that, because JMG Direct is the opportunity of a lifetime. But you got to see it for yourself. You got to see yourself with three people who have three people, with an organization. You got to see yourself getting 10 customers this week so that you can get that $100 bonus. You got to see it. You got to believe it. You got to understand that the numbers already stack up in your favor. So when you go talk to somebody, you got to see yourself showing them the plan, seeing them being interested, see them enrolling. It's not always going to happen, but it won't happen if you don't have the ability to see it for yourself. You have the seed of doubt and you have the seed of prosperity. And too many times in life, people are planting the seed of doubt. You got to stop it. When we declare and we say call to action, when you set up goals every Saturday and then you don't accomplish the goals by Friday, you got to get pissed off with yourself. You got to have some type of pride about yourself, about the goals that you set, that you continue to miss. It's got to just piss you off. Or as I say, it's got to fry your potatoes. And you got to say, all right, I got to do something about this. I have to break the generational curse of being okay with dropping the ball and not hitting the goal. You guys, there's so much opportunity out there, but people are missing it because they're just not doing the work. Remember, it goes back to looking in the mirror and saying, you got to make a decision that you want something more out of life, but more importantly, you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it. There was a saying that I heard one time: God keeps telling you what you can have, and you keep telling him what you got. God don't care what you got. He's telling you can have anything that you want. And the same can be said about the actions. God keeps telling you that you can do anything, but you keep telling them what you can do. You guys, you have the power. You have the ability. I don't care where you are in life, where you're from, what your struggle was, what struggle that you have going on right now. There's three people out there who are looking, who are praying for you. But you don't get to go out and just talk to three people and get three. You got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to get out and sow the seeds. So you may have to talk to 10. You may have to talk to 20. But if you have to talk to 20 people to get 3 good people, and then we help them get 3 good people, and your organization grows, and in the next couple weeks you have $15,000 per month, are you going to be okay with it? Because the adverse is most people are working 40 hours a week for 40 years of their life. Do you know, I'm not going to say the name, but it disturbed me because it was a family member. I saw somebody post, I'm so excited, I bought a house and that's the American dream. I work 80 hours a week so that I could afford everything, and I'm just so excited about life. I'm like scratching my head like, dude, that's not okay. I even commented like, hey man, that's great that you got a house, congratulations, but we got to talk about that 80 hours because that's not the American dream. Do you keep your options open to other ways to make extra money? You guys, there are people out there, they're right in front of your face. They're on your social media, but we're just so used to scrolling looking for the drama. We're so used to scrolling looking for the memes, looking for the funny stuff, that we miss the people who are pleading for our help, who are looking, who are giving us those context clues. And I'm telling you, if you just take a moment to pay attention, Plant those seeds of prosperity, then your eyes will begin to be open. You'll begin to believe and you'll begin to look and start to see things like Neo in the Matrix when he started to see the X's and O's. There are people within 6 degrees of separation that are just ready for you to ask the question and they'll receive the answer. You just have to go out and do the work that it takes to get it. And that work can kick off this weekend. And then we can have a bunch of people who are already in, who are also inviting guests on Tuesday for the Simple Wealth Blueprint presentation. You guys, we want to keep packing this presentation, keep growing, and then keep growing the Paul D. Jones Show. I mean, Mr. Jones, his show is not only amazing in value and in content, but man, I mean, he has thousands of listeners and people who download the show per week. And he keeps planting the JMG Direct seed. So pretty soon, you're going to be talking to people like, hey, have you ever heard of JMG Direct? They're like, yeah, I heard that Paul D. Jones show. He always talks about it. It's spreading, you guys, and you want to be able to capitalize on that and have that work to your advantage for your business. So I didn't see any questions in the comment section. I appreciate you guys jumping on. This week, set a goal. How many people are you going to talk to? You set the goal. My call to action is for you to get used to setting your own goals and believing in your own goals and planting those seeds of prosperity, of excitement, and confidence in yourself so that you can partner with your 3 people. I believe and I proclaim, I declare for each and every one of you on training this week that you are going to get 10 new customers to get that $100 bonus for the Fall Into the Money promotion. And you are all going to at least get your 3 people. Why? Because I'm going to see more social media posts. I'm going to hear about more people planting seeds and talking to people this week than ever before within JMG Direct. Why? Because you are the best investment that you got. And you're born to win. This is the week you're going to play to win right now. Because you realize that you are already a champion. I got your back. I see you at the top, and I see you at the bank. Have a great weekend, everybody. Love you. Peace.